because net.
Don't worry, bro. Everybody, welcome back to Play Spot. As I'm having mesh, you can see that we are having a chat over here. I just started the video too early before my guy even stopped. So, bro, let me just not waste your time. Asingenenda ben. Mesh,
Yebo,
ambani mnganami?
yebo.
Umnandi.
Mnandi.
Yeah, can you hear me properly?
Standard. It's flowing now.
Okay, asibonge. So as things stands, bro, we had Junior Motaung, sporting director, giving us insight about the new signings of Kaizer Chiefs. Actually, when actually, what do we expect?
From what he said.
Yeah.
From what he said, if they sign one player, it's fine because he said that they're working behind the scenes and they're not thinking about just now. They're also thinking about next season. And then also, if he signs 5, 10 players, also there, that's also what we can also expect. So basically, what I'm saying is that he
Yeah.
didn't give a hint. Like he didn't give us a hint. He didn't hint, like really what's going on. Maybe out of respect of the other teams and the players, but from what we heard, I think from what we heard and what we can expect just based off of what we heard is that it can be a lot or it can be little. Some will be satisfied, some won't be satisfied. And I'm talking about the fans now. Maybe we sign one marquee signing and then maybe that's it, or two players. Someone else may feel like, no, we should have signed a defender, we should have signed a midfielder or what. And then someone also believes that, just one addition, if we can fix the problem of striking department, or if we can fix the problem of midfield department or defense, whatever the case is, another person will say that thing. So I think based off what he said and what we can expect is that some people will be happy and then some people won't be happy, but they must know that they did the best that they could.
Okay. So, as he actually elaborate that it's so a sensitive topic, so they are not willing to share with fans. But I don't think
Yeah,
there's a club which shares.
yes, that's true. I mean, that's true, but there's nothing wrong with talking about what we're trying to do now in this transfer window. Because what was also worrying about the whole statement is the mentioning of next season. We don't want to find out about next season. We want now, like this season, how we solve the problems that we have now. We're talking about the short-term goal. You understand? We're saying that in the next 6 months before the league finishes, how far can we improve? We're not talking about next season. Because when you mention next season, now it becomes a long-term goal. Because also next season, if you don't sign those players in the first transfer window, before the open of the season, then you can also say that, yeah, we'll get them in the following transfer window in Jan. You understand, mid-season. So it wasn't a question. Basically, the statement, if the question the fans wanted, if there was anything the fans wanted to hear, is how far is the progress of the January transfer window? Next season is fine. Let's hold on before next season. But how far is the progress of just now, like in the next 30 days? What can we expect? And I think that's a valid question from the what is it from the fans, But also at the same time, a lot of pressure is put on the teams and the clubs, and they also need to present themselves properly when they're speaking to media, and they must articulate themselves very well. So I think he did articulate himself very well, but also in how he articulated himself is that we should expect next season also. If things are not solved now, we should expect next season. And I don't think that's what the fans want to hear. The fans want to hear, before we play Orlando Pirates on the 1st of February, how far or like how much changes can we expect to the current squad with respect to the current squad that's currently there?
No, I understand you that actually you want to know the progress of where they are standing right now. What should we expect? And then
Yes.
you are not getting what actually that question is not answered.
It's answered, but it's not answered straight to the point. It is answered. It's because remember they are mentioning also next season. So that's room for us, to have, maybe if there's disappointment, like let's say they signed the players, but it's not the players that we expected, or the ones that are trending,
Yes.
we should be able to forgive them. And then they will attain again or try again next season to get, those solid players, or the players that maybe the fans want. But at the same time, any signing would be amazing for the team. There's very good coaching there right now. There's very good training. There's a lot of positive things that have changed. I think that the club must not be afraid to take that route, like to just go for the normal players, the average guys, because now the coaching is far better. And there's better fitness already. There's better cohesion with the players in terms of how they play. When they have a good game, you can see that, okay, this team is solid. And also when they have a bad game, some games they don't lose because they're the worst team on the pitch. So I think that, although this may disappoint some of the fans, I feel like management should not be shy to get those players maybe who are not valued as the other players that are currently trending, or the players that we are not linked with in terms of, the speculation and the rumors that you see on the papers, because also, it's the rumors that they're also responding to management, right? They're responding to the rumors that, are speculating around, right? If those rumors were not there, they were not going to lay that statement, because there is no single person who went out to say they are not doing anything, and he said he's representing the fans. Everything that they're responding to is the things that maybe a narrative pushed on social media or anything along those lines. But they should understand that we're fully behind them, and that we'll be happy with anything done to improve the team. And even if those signings are not what we saw on social media, we'll be happy with whoever is added to the team.
I think it's very clear, Mesh, and we. So should we believe that 100 million, which were actually rumored that Kaizer Chiefs they are going to spend?
No, you know, some of these things, they're not accurate.
Yeah.
All that we know is that the coach said that he has a budget and he plans to use it wisely.
Yes.
We got scouting. We got a new head of scouting, which is Mr. Malewa. So I think that things can be better. They must not be afraid to take that change, or they must not be afraid to take that step now. They don't have to wait for results of further and further. If the budget is 20 million, let's get the players that we can fit with 20 million. There's no such thing as 20 million in Ghana.
Yes.
When we have good coaching and a good setup, a much better setup than in the last maybe 5 years, we can say, or even 7 years, during the times of just when Baxter left, So I think that, they can get players that can improve themselves. That's true. But then also they can get these marquee signings, or these players that already have the stats. And, again, those players, they can either succeed or they can either fail. So if we have better coaching and these players are going to, these coaches and the technical team is going to direct the players, we must not be afraid to get players that are not worth as much as the other prominent players.
Yes. Yeah, no, Mitch, I think it makes a lot of sense. And if I can jump to also a comment section, I can find out that there's a guy called Ruzani saying that Mullah is. It's highly time we accept that Kaizer Chiefs is just an average team. They are greedy. Is they don't get an outside investor very soon. Even sponsor might pull out. That is Ruzani's opinion. Then we have Ushemi Kane saying that a rate at this, I think at this rate, Pirates is going to beat us 5-0. And then Fifi saying that away Mula, that must be straight with that, they must be straight with us. We know it's business, but what exactly have they done? So now saying that Kaizer Chiefs is not serious about signing players. Those are the comment section which I can read for now. Do you pick up anything from that?
No, man. I think those are emotional. Those are emotional comments.
Yeah. Okay.
They're very like they're not in sync with what the club said.
Okay.
The club has a long-term goal,
Okay.
which is to turn to turn things around, and this goal has been going on for almost 10 years. So you can feel like that, during transfer window, the same way you can feel like the team is not doing anything just after, the team has lost,
Yes. So do you see
and also
Pirates
you can,
beating? Sorry, do you see Pirates beating Kaizer
mm,
Chiefs 5-0?
nah, not Pirates. Yeah, Campana. Pirates, even Dupree, even if he was keeper, they won't beat us 5. We can
Okay,
even
bro.
put Nabi himself as the striker. They won't beat us by 5.
And then we have
We are more likely to beat them because we have all the odds against us.
okay,
So I wouldn't even be surprised that we even beat them and by a huge scoreline. Because I
okay.
have a 5-0 in this season, and I don't know who's taking that 5-0, but
Yes.
someone will get it.
Okay. And then we have Mtu Dlamini saying that they must go back. They must go back to Zimbabwe and as they used to buy one get one free. Do you think that method can still work?
Yes, I think that method can work. We can look at other leagues. I mean, when you watch CAF, you can see that there are certain leagues,
Fact.
that are also picking up, and
Yes.
those players are not as expensive, but those players are more experienced than our players
Yes. If you can
because
check
you
the
find
team
maybe
which
they
was
may not be.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was saying, adding to what you are saying, okay, if you can check the team which was playing against Mamelodi Sundowns, there is players who are also good there.
Yes, there's some decent players that you can use in a certain way. It's not always that we should go for the prominent players. We even see this overseas. In today's football, not every prospect makes it the same way as Messi and Ronaldo. It's very few people that make it. Look at how many prospects have been there. And there's been João Felix, there's been Foden, there's been all of these guys, and then there was just Mbappe and Haaland. So not everybody will make it at that Shalulila level or make it at that Mokoena level or Williams level, but a lot of people can win the league. A lot of people are capable of, winning the cups. We've seen with Magezi, basically with nothing, a team that just got PSL funding for the first time. Meaning that they only improved their environment when they were playing in the league and they were able to push with different things, which is the passion. So I think that sometimes it's very common for us to have this belief. In the same way also we always think that maybe you need to buy the latest car or whatever, but sometimes it's just to get from point A to point B. And where are we right now? We're at a position where we can't even win the league. Surely there are players who have never played CAF but have won the league. So I think that we should give it to ourselves and make those steps now. We don't have to be perfect in how we make those steps.
Fact.
We can take those steps now. Go buy, get players that are willing to play for the team and players that are affordable. Take that step now, and then you see that, okay, this is not working. Then you can exhaust your powers in trying to get those marquee signings, in the new season. But right now, all the fans want is just different faces because they've seen problems. We've seen problems in midfield, we've seen in the defense, we've seen in the striking department, and it's crazy because when we say those problems, it's not that thing to us blame umuntu what, but we know what a striker's job is to convert.
Yeah.
We know what a midfielder's job is to move the ball from defense, midfield, take it forward to the striker. We know the job of the defender is to defend and also move the ball forward to the midfielders at least. We know the goal of the goalkeeper. So certain players, as good as they are in their own capacity, haven't been able to show that in the stats or on the field of play.
It makes a lot of sense, bro. It makes a lot of sense what you are saying, and I think also fans they need to be patient with Kaizer Chiefs this time around, and also be patient with Nabi, and just sit back and relax and watch what is really happening. What do you think, man?
Yeah, no, they need to be patient. I don't think Nabi is a coach, who doesn't have what you call like experience. I think that in terms of all the coaches that we've had in the last, let's say, 7 years to 10 years, the more qualified one was maybe Baxter. That's who you could say, okay, maybe and maybe Kevin Hunt, maybe in terms of the PSL. But all these other coaches that we've had before, haven't been at the quality of Nabi. And we can also argue and say that Nabi has more experience than even Hunt in terms of playing outside, playing CAF, because obviously he's moved around the continent a little bit, So if that is the standard, then the coach has done well for himself, and he's a bit more versatile than the previous coaches. For example, another coach was taken from the development, brought up to the first team, assistant, and then eventually head coach, still without experience of being head coach in the PSL. And then another coach was taken from the national team, brought in as the head coach, still with no experience of the PSL, and we saw the results. And then we brought back, Baxter, still with the experience of the PSL and what he been to Europe and all of these things, he also couldn't turn the tide around.
Yes.
So we've exhausted all our opinions. We've gotten Steve Compella was gotten when he was still a prospect, that he can become a good coach, or like he can become a successful coach with Kaizer Chiefs. Still, that didn't materialize. We also had, Solinas and all these other coaches. So Chiefs has exhausted a lot of coaching opinions, a lot of coaching methods, and the results have not come. So I think with a more modern coach than all the mentioned coaches, I think Nabi fits the role perfectly. So he must be given time to turn things around, because again, there are no new signings. It's not like he'll be playing with the most expensive players and all of those things. So it must be looked at with that mindset, or with that perspective, that where are we exactly? What is the quality of our players? What competitions are our players getting in terms of experience? At most, how many games are they playing? How much fitness? You understand? So other teams are having different problems. Stellenbosch is not doing well in the league, but it's understandable because of the capacity of the squad that they have. We know that it is a good squad, but however, it's not a squad that can take on both CAF traveling and the league, and the domestic cups, so it's hurting them in that way. But in our regard, we are having players that are good, but maybe there are better players elsewhere for those certain positions, and that's our disadvantage. So solving those issues, we must solve the problems that we have, and the problems that we have is not coaching. Is not the technical team. The problems that we have may be players, because of when we are on the pitch, we are always the better team. We are getting the shots, but we are not converting. So maybe something is wrong there on the pitch. But in terms of coaching, there's nothing wrong with coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mesh, I think people who are listening right now, they can understand why you're saying Kaizer Chiefs this time around, they must be patient. But I can see some of the fans are saying that they are tired. They've been sitting back for 10 years now, for 9 years now. Some of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, that's true. The fans, that's true. The management, remember, it's in respect of what they're saying. So we have to wait for the 28th and then make that conclusion. But, a lot of people are losing hope because, other people are signing. And it must be made a point that Pirates doesn't need as many signings as we do. Sundowns doesn't need as many signings as we do. On top of that, when those teams make signings, they're just patching here and there. Mm-hmm. We have a problem because we're not in the top 4. We are not consistent. So something is wrong, and that thing is based on what? It's based on the results that we get on the pitch, right? Mm-hmm. And in terms of the coaching, we can give the coach credit and say that, okay, he does attack. The opportunities are created. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes I do not understand why the management also stalls, because they have exercised every method, they've exercised every attempt. They got guys that were good, that were playing overseas. They brought them in, they brought them back this side. It didn't materialize. They got experienced PSL coaches. They got potential coaches. They got coaches from Europe. They did everything that they've done. They've signed some of the best players from Sundowns. In fact, the team that has taken the most players from Sundowns is Chiefs. And I'm not talking about light players that were not prominent that much in Sundowns. I'm talking about marquee players, key players, that we have seen in the past. So clearly the management also needs to, put their foot down in what action that they're taking. And, there's been a lot of stalling, even the previous transfer window was a stall. The previous transfer window, it felt as if we didn't finish signing, because the coach did say that, no, we did, we're not complete. We still need a striker. We still need 2 strikers. And I think he said we still need a midfielder, all those things. So we are supposed to continue from the transfer window that Nabi started with. And Nabi started with the previous transfer window. This is not Nabi's first transfer window. This is Nabi's second transfer window. You understand what I'm saying? So we should be now making patches also, or trying to getting option number 2, number 3, number 4, or even option number 5 in that position if the talks are not going well with other players.
I think you have said enough, bruh. You have said enough, and I also understand what you are saying. I don't know those who are not even understanding on the comment section, but for me, Mesh, you have just nailed it. And for now, I think we are behind the time, and people are still commenting over there. But you know what? This is what we brought today. And then we I can't even read, but it's too much comments there. And but I actually appreciate everyone who have been commenting there on the comment section. Mesh, you're one of the best, bro. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Mola.
And
No,
then
you're the
Kelelo
best,
is
my
saying
brother.
that you're splitting facts, nothing but facts. That's Kelelo, bro, one of our members. And Shemi Kane, thank you very much. Chozis, thank you very much. Fifi, thank you very much. Ruzan, thank you very much for showing up on my channel. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Neo and Bentley, thank you very much. Ngiyabonga bafowethu. See you on my next lovely video. Peace.